Hey everyone, got another Player of the Week selection. It's been released today. As always, I'm going to put timestamps in the description for each player if you want to skip to a particular player. So let's get into it, see what we've got. Start with the lowest rated. We've got Marcano from Porto. Uh, Decent in some areas, got a good touching skills. See over here, interception blocker. Pretty much everything you'd want except acrobatic clearance for a centre back. If you look at his attributes, he's got a lack of pace. Physical contact's pretty poor for a centre back, and then 76 defensive engagement. That's poor. That's really poor for a centre back. Quite decent on the ball for a centre back, so worth mentioning that. Positionally, he can play left back, but he's not good enough on the ball really to play that role. Ultimately, yeah, unless you're a Porto fan, I don't think anyone's going to really be too keen to get this guy. Then we've got another 4-star, Nico Williams from Bilbao. Creative playmaker, they've made him. Pinpoint crossing has been added there. I think that's new. He's basically a pace merchant. Got great pace, great dribbling, but beyond that, passing's not great, finishing's not brilliant. If you're one of these guys, you like to, you like your wide forwards, you like to do a lot of dribbling and the skill moves. He's got some of that. He's got the pace and dribbling, so it could be a fun one to have. But like with a lot of players, you just got to look at that end product. They have given him pinpoint crossing, which will help, but still 75 lofted pass. He's not going to have a great cross on him, even with pinpoint crossing. So, yeah, keep an eye on that lack of end product there, but it could be a fun one for some people. And then the last 4-star, we've got Minamino. This guy's a great skill set. He already had, I think, most of these. I think heading's the one they've added, but you see long range shooting, one touch pass and through passing. He's got some good skills there. Long range curl as well. If you're playing in wide left to cut inside onto a stronger right foot. Got very good pace, great balance. And you look down the left though, kind of good in some areas. The dribbling and ball control. Tight possession is not the best. Offensive awareness up there, 74 is not the best either. I got the version of him from there was a Japan pack last year. I think it was late last year, maybe. I think that one only got his offensive awareness up to about 70, 72 maybe, so they obviously don't rate his offensive awareness. Passing's not brilliant. Finishing's pretty good. He can play as a striker. I think he's probably going to be best as an SS or maybe a wide left forward. The fact you've got that good finishing, the passing's not the best. He does have the one touch pass and through passing skills. They will help, of course, but even if you've got those skills, if these attributes are too low, it's not going to make too much difference. So if you're going to make the most of this guy, I think you've got to look at the fact he's got good dribbling, ball control, finishing, very good pace. I think wide left or maybe SS would be the best place to use this guy. So he's got some qualities there, but some weaknesses as well to keep an eye on. Could be a good one if you've got a Japan squad for the national team events that they do. But yeah, an interesting one, Minamino. And then onto the 5-star, it's got Bonaventura, Fiorentina. Like Minamino, he's a whole player. Similar positionally to Minamino, but he can't play SS. One touch passing, through passing, long range shooting. So you look at the skill set, he looks like he's built to play as an AMF really. There's nothing defensively there. His defensives are all 70 plus, worth noting that, and he can play centre mid, so you could have him as a very offensive minded centre mid. Not the quickest, but not the slowest either. Balance is decent, physical contact not so great. Stamina's poor. Keep an eye on that. Stamina's really quite poor for a midfielder and a whole player as well. A whole player, he's going to be making a lot of attacking runs, so he's going to get tired pretty quick. Down the left, again, like Minamino, he's not so great at tight possession, even though he's got pretty good ball control and dribbling. Offensive awareness is good at 80, and that combines well with his whole player playing style. Passing 81 for low pass is not brilliant. It's not the worst, but still, if this is a 5-star player and you're playing, divisions and you're playing in events against strong squads, I think you're gonna notice that passing not being on the high side. Lofted pass is decent, doesn't have pinpoint crossing, but still 84 is decent. Finishing 78 is not bad. Yeah, I think like Minamino is a guy who's got some qualities, got some good skills, could be useful in some ways, but there are some obvious weaknesses there to be mindful of. Passing's not the best, stamina's pretty bad, so yeah, could be useful for some people, but there's some real weaknesses there. And then we got our goalkeeper Vicario from Spurs. Not a great deal to say. He's a defensive keeper. No major weaknesses. Obviously, the jumping's not the best, although he's 6'4", so he's got a decent height on him. Catching and parrying, as with a lot of keepers, not the best, but 84 awareness, 86 reflexes, 85 reach. Good shot stopper. He's not an elite goalkeeper, but I think certainly in any week where your goalies have got poor form, you need an option. Could be a useful one, and for the English League Challenge as well. And obviously, if you're a Spurs fan, so a solid goalkeeper option, but nothing to get too excited about. Then we got Mitoma from Brighton after that great goal he scored. Yeah, Tidy. I've got a version of him already. It's pretty similar, to be honest. Not a lot has changed. Loads of dribbly skills there. Long range curler and first time shot. So cutting in from the left hand side, that would be very useful. 79 for finishing. Could be a bit higher, but it's not the worst. Passing, again, not brilliant. But if you're mainly going to be cutting in and looking to shoot with the guy, it might not be too important for you. But the key ones with Mitoma, great on the ball at 91 dribbling. Really good pace. Fantastic balance. They made him a creative playmaker. Not everyone's favourite play style, but I don't think it matter too much playing wide left. He'll still cut inside and get into good positions. You would think 77 offensive awareness isn't bad. Yeah, I think for people who like inverted wingers, they like a wide forward cutting inside instead of stronger foot. Got some real qualities. It's a pretty decent card, that. And then we've got another Di Lorenzo, Napoli. So yeah, again, not massively different to what we've had before from Di Lorenzo in previous Player of the Week cards and feature cards. One touch pass and through passing could be helpful getting to attacking positions, but I'm not sure that's really what you need from your fullback. Got some decent defensive skills there, interception, aerial superiority, and heading as well. That's quite unusual for a fullback, to be fair. He's about 6 foot. His jumping and physical contact already pretty good, so he's good in the air for a fullback. Interception, sliding tackle. Yeah, he's got some good defensive stuff. Defensive awareness 75 isn't the best. The other defensive skills pretty good. And down the left there, he's not great on the ball. For me personally, that worries me with a fullback. I don't want my fullbacks to be struggling on the ball and getting caught in possession, so that's a bit of a concern for me. Low pass is good for fullback. Lofted, not so great, and he doesn't have pinpoint crossing either. Pace is okay, but not brilliant. So again, this is a card where there are some qualities there, some interesting things there in terms of the skills, and some of his attributes are pretty good, but a few things to be mindful of. I'd like him to be a bit quicker. I'd like the awareness and the kind of technique to be a bit higher as well. So he's not brilliant. He's got some weaknesses, but he's got some strengths as well. So could be an interesting one for some people. And then we have Bailey from Villa. This one's an interesting card. They've made him a whole player, which is an interesting play style for a wide midfielder. Looking down at his skill set here, his long range shooting, first time shot, pinpoint crossing, and super sub, and a bunch of dribbly stuff, long range curler as well. This guy's very interesting. You could play him wide right or wide left. The first thing you notice in his attributes, 96 for speed. That is crazy pace. He's a very, very, very quick player. Very good balance. Great dribbling as well. Passing's not brilliant. Again, he's got pinpoint crossing, but with 74 lofted pass, I don't think his crossing is going to be that great. Finishing 79, though, is again, it's not brilliant, but it's okay. You can get away with that. Offensive awareness, likewise, it could be better, it could be worse. Decent at set pieces. But yeah, for a guy who's got the pace he's got the ability on the ball that he's got, he could be a really dangerous super sub to have. I'll be quite pleased if I got this guy, to be honest. Wide right or wide left, putting crosses in from the left. Again, his crossing's not brilliant. That will concern me. It'd be interesting to see how good his crossing is. I don't think it's going to be great, though, 74. But from the right, though, cutting inside, long range shooting, long range curler, finishing 79. He's got curl as well. Really emphasise those long range curlers. He could be a dangerous sub to bring on, so it's quite an interesting card, that. Harry Kane. First Harry Kane card since he joined Bayern. Deep lying forward, not everyone's cup of tea, so he's not going to make as many attacking runs as a lot of people would like. The skill set, pretty much what you'd expect. The one thing with Kane, one touch passing through passing, that's probably what stands out compared to most strikers, but especially for a deep lying forward as well. That's going to really be useful when he's dropping deep, getting involved in the build up. But Yeah, the build they've put on him with his attributes, pretty much what you'd expect from Kane. He's not the quickest, he's quite strong, but the balance isn't great. Not got great dribbling, but his control's decent. But the offensive awareness 94, finishing 93. He's a goal scorer. Harry Kane's a goal scorer. If you use him right, if he suits your style of play, he could be an absolutely deadly striker for you. And that passing is a nice little bonus, like I say. So yeah, if he suits the way you play, he could be a really, really great card to pick up. And then we've got two more. Frankie de Jong from Barca. They've got him as a centre back build up, which is interesting. I didn't see all the game, but certainly in the second half, he wasn't in his own half for much of the match. He was very much involved in the attacking play. I think they may have started him at centre back, but then moved him forward as they got frustrated chasing the game, trying to find that goal. But either way, they've made him a build up centre back. And the first thing I look at there, if they're going to make him a centre back, has he got defensive skills? Not really. Aerial superiority, that's about it. What are his defensive attributes like? Fantastic, fantastic. Bad, bad. So, yeah, he's not a centre back for me. But as you would expect, he can still play in his normal positions, centre mid and defensive mid. With that in mind, you look back at his skills here: one touch pass, through passing, weighted pass, got a load of good technical skills there. He was dribbling and passing. Still nothing really defensively though. So for me, I think I would just be using this the way I'd use the other versions of De Jong, which is just as a centre midfielder, kind of like a box to box. And then you look at all his attributes again. He's got good speed, balance is decent, physical contact not too bad, good stamina. Those defensive stats are nice now for a centre midfielder. And then down the left, again, as you'd expect, really great on the ball, fantastic passing. I think you've got to ignore the fact they've got him down as a centre back. This is a centre midfielder for me, and it's a really, really interesting one. Like I say, he's got pretty much what you'd expect from De Jong. He's great on the ball with his passing, his mobility and stamina are great, but he's got those two 90 plus defensive stats as well, and the usual skill set that you expect from Frankie De Jong. So, yeah, for me, this is a centre midfielder, and it's a very, very nice one. I'll be very pleased if I get this guy. And lastly, of course, we've got our 1000th Leo Messi card. Not a great deal to say about this one, except that it's pretty damn good. Obviously, you're not going to get many Messi cards with pace now, apart from the legendary ones, but still, the last one was slower than this. Certainly the last one I picked up, so it could have been worse pace-wise. Balance, fantastic. Stamina, obviously not great. You expect that with Messi, but then you look down the left, this is where we're interested in it. 85 offensive awareness, and then all these 90 plus ones finishing as well down there. Great at set pieces, the usual skill set, the shooting, the passing. This is just a really good Leo Messi card, to be honest. Again, it's not the quickest. That's about as much pace as you could expect from any Messi card now, like I say. But yeah, striker behind the attack, wide right. This is a really nice Messi card. Wasn't expecting one, but yeah, he's obviously an ambassador for the game, and any excuse to get a Messi card in, I guess, for them. And it's a very nice one. So if you like Messi, if you want a Messi card, I think this would be a great result for you if you get it. And the last couple of cards, I think this one would be better as well. So yeah, a very good Messi card there. It's an interesting selection. Some good ones, but quite a few that aren't so great. And even the good ones, there's some downsides to most of them. So it's an interesting one. But yeah, there you go. Hope you found that useful. Thanks for watching as always. See you next time.